We're right in the middle of reading about the pregnancy of Mary and then the birth of Jesus. It's been told firsthand by Mary, now an old woman, to investigator Luke. He's recorded it for us. And one of the things I know about pregnancy, and I admit I don't know much about pregnancy, is there's a lot of waiting. Waiting to conceive, waiting for 9 months until it's ready for the baby to be born. Waiting. And actually waiting, much more than just Mary's waiting to have her baby, is the backstory of this moment of Jesus' birth. The whole of Israel had been waiting for God to act and speak for centuries. They felt God had been silent and not doing anything. They were longing and waiting eagerly for a new thing from God. We see that reflected in the story in the temple when Jesus is brought to be dedicated. There's a lady, Anna, who for 60 years has been waiting for this moment, 6 decades of longing to see God work in the temple. And even the priest, Simeon, well, we can read his story. He'd been promised by God and he was waiting for this moment to come that arrives in Jesus. Let me read what it says about Simeon. It had been revealed to him by the Holy Spirit that he would not die before he'd seen the Lord's Messiah. Moved by the Spirit, he went into the temple courts. When the parents brought in the child, Jesus, to do for him what the custom of the Lord required, Simeon took him in his arms and praised God, saying, "Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you may now dismiss your servant in peace. For my eyes have seen your salvation." Do you see that? Simeon, all that waiting suddenly has been realized. As a priest on behalf of Israel, on behalf of Anna, all the waiting is over. His eyes have seen the salvation of God as he looks at the face of baby Jesus. And so this little episode ends with the phrase, when Joseph and Mary had done everything required by the law of the Lord, they returned to Galilee, to their own town of Nazareth. Everything required by God's law, by God's promises, has been done. Jesus has arrived. The waiting is over. I'm going to invite you to either sing along or reflect silently to this great song, King of Kings by Hillsong, which reminds us of this amazing truth that Simeon saw and which we can see as well.
In the darkness we were waiting, without hope, without light, till from heaven you came running. There was mercy in your eyes to fulfill the law and prophets. To a virgin came the word, from a throne of endless glory to a cradle in the dirt. Praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, three in one. God of glory, majesty, praise forever to the King of Kings. To reveal the kingdom coming and to reconcile the lost, to redeem the whole creation. You did not despise the cross, for even in your suffering you saw to the other side, knowing this was our salvation. Jesus, for our sake you died. Praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, three in one. God of glory, majesty, praise forever to the King of Kings. In the morning that you rose, all of heaven held its breath, till that stone was moved for good, for the Lamb had conquered death. And the dead rose from their tombs, and the angels stood in